Hello, I'm delighted to read again for the Thousand Monkeys, and today I'd like to read to you poems I've translated of Jean Cassou, a Frenchman, 1897 to 1986. I have two books of his. This is the 33 Sonnets from Arc, and this is the Madness of Amadis from Agenda. Both had other poems. The 33 Sonnets, when I was born in the cold midwinter of 1941, Cassou was in prison in Toulouse, rightly suspected of being a resistant. The conditions were strict, and he made up in his head, with having no pencil and paper, 33 sonnets, and they're in this book. And today being the anniversary, the birthday of Hugo von Hofmannsthal, I'll do a poem which originated in a Hofmannsthal sonnet. And Cassou introduces it like this. The prisoners were forbidden anything to read. One day, though, a fragment of an issue of the Pariser Zeitung came into my hands. My cellmate and I devoured the evil print, which was, at any rate, something to read. I had the joy of lighting on a sonnet of Hofmannsthal, Die Beiden, a famous piece from the anthologies, which had always charmed me, and which I adapted into our language by great efforts during one of my nights of insomnia. So my translation is effectively coming from both the French of Cassou and the original German of Hofmannsthal, which began, Sie trug den Becher in der Hand, ihr Kinn und Mund glich seinem Rand. Curved her lip and curved the cup safely carried in her hand. Sure and easy was her tread, not a single drop was shed. Sure and steady was his hand, and his horse high-spirited. He with mastery pulled up, made the startled creature stand. Did the strong hand grasp the cup that the fair one offered up? It was not done easily. How they trembled, he and she. Hand by hand was never found, and the dark wine stained the ground. And I'll add to that the very shortest sonnet in the book, as you'll see, because it has very short lines, and it's based on one by Verlaine when he goes off with Rimbaud to Belgium, which begins Briques et Tuiles. But this one is about being in prison. Lead, iron and tin, snug sulphur mines for valentines to sizzle in. Ocean and sand, the great event is impotent as matters stand. All that we do, the void has checked, checkmated too. The final page has no effect that it can stage. Cassou had a nasty experience at the liberation of Toulouse when, as commissaire de la République, he arrived at the town hall before the Germans had quite left. He was injured seriously and was in a coma for some time. He was decorated by de Gaulle. And much later in life, he created the National Museum of Modern Art in France because he was a leading art historian and art critic. So now I'll read one longer one from The Madness of Amadis, which is published by Agenda. It's called Mars Awestruck. You may know the story of Mars and Venus and their very illegitimate affair and how it ended. What, said the warrior, Venus, in my arms your destiny as sovereign beauty lies. Bare feet and throat, your hair's unrivalled charms, and the sea treasure guarded by your thighs. Of all the whole world's interchangeable obedient servants, madam, tell me why this one, who answers I to one sole call, his own, and that itself is surely I. But high adventure for this voice half heard in this plain armour of the armoury, high pride in strict equality interred, plunged among equals who are doomed to die. Thunder to choose, The bullet's whirring flight trembles to speak its number, and the blade, wing of a sea-bird sinuously bright, thrusts through wide horns of bulls its estocade. My bull of fate, white, black in my embrace, I grasp the fate thrust on me by the night, and on my breast's great altar I enlace my head in my 2 arms of iron held tight, till in their place mysterious, marvellous Venus, your arms appear, soft stream of milk, of almonds, sweet quintessence luminous, necklace and mouth abyssal, smooth as silk. I am not submerged, but find my birth in this, find my baptismal springs, my lustral home, exist in your cries, trances, ecstasies. To mate with me you spurted from the foam. Strange that of all those goddesses, divine nymphs of the woods, the fields, the mountain crest, you are the one, when I say mistress mine, who runs to hide her forehead in my breast. I brush aside your lashes and your hair, gaze deep into the chasms of your gaze. No, I shall never know a final hour. I store up all our hope in endless days.